Well, soul ties, it's a common term nowadays, but a lot of people don't really know what it means. A soul tie is an emotional bond or connection that unites you with someone else. And the reason I was inspired to write this book is, number one, because of the soul ties I had in my life from wrong relationships from the past, and I knew I could never pursue the dreams, the goals, the plan that God has for my life now until I let go of the past. I also know that it is a process of letting go, and it has to be taught. It's not just a matter of someone saying, you need to get over it, let go of the past. And then another reason I was inspired to write this book is because of the numerous testimonies, feedback, comments that we get from people all over the world who don't know why they're in this wrong relationship, or they don't know how to get over the past. They don't know why they keep returning to a relationship, and they just don't know how to break free. And it's because of this issue of soul ties. I have experiences in wrong soul ties, plenty of wrong relationships from the past, but in my life personally, I realized how deceiving wrong soul ties can be and how powerful they are. You know, in my younger years, I remember dating one guy in particular for almost 3 years, and I mean, we were in love with each other, picnics at the lake, you know, spending all the holidays, Christmas, you know, Valentine's, everything together. And of course, we were very intimate with each other. And as we dated during this time, you know, just slowly, more and more of his jealousy began to come out in rages, and I mean crazy fits of tempers, and so bad that I remember the first time he really lost his temper. We'd gone out to dinner one night, and he was just jealous over something, and we go to the car, and as we're sitting in the car, his temper escalates, and he's screaming and yelling at me. Next thing I know, he grabs the back of my head and just starts banging it across the steering wheel of his car. Locks the door so I can't get out, and I'm just in shock. Cannot believe this is happening to me. Can't believe this person I love is doing this to me. And of course you're thinking, I don't deserve this. I don't belong with him. I got to get away from him. But before he took me home that night, he is just bawling, apologizing, cannot comprehend he did this to me, someone he loves so much. And what I do? I forgave him. So, as you can imagine, it didn't stop that night. It got worse. The temper, the fits, the physical abuse, it escalated from there, and I wouldn't get out of it. You know, in fact, I was so deceived in my own mind, I just justified it, and I never told anyone about it. So, soul ties are deceiving, and they are very powerful. That's why there's such a demand for this message to be taught. I believe this book is written for anyone who is in a wrong relationship right now and they know they need to get out. They don't want to, but they know in their heart they need to get out. I believe it's also written for someone who may not be in a relationship right now, but you're still tormented in your mind by an old relationship, by memories, by images that you keep replaying in your mind. And then also, number 3, I believe it's written for those who are being tempted to get into a wrong relationship. You could be flirting with disaster, flirting with danger, and I'm telling you, it will be the biggest regret of your life until you wake up and realize this is a trap and I'm not going to fall for it. Some of the topics that are in this book, there's one chapter in here that is so fun. I think you'll find it really interesting. It's the body language of flirting, that you're actually giving off signals, you know, that say you're flirting. And that's just a fun chapter, but it also warns you of things that, you know, Satan could be tempting you to flirt with someone that you didn't begin with that in mind, but it led to that. In fact, I did some research for this book. I just Googled Facebook affairs, and it took me to so many different sites. But one of them said when they interviewed married men and women who got in contact with their old, you know, high school, college flames, some of them 10, 20, 30 years later, 62% of them ended up having an affair with that person for which none of them began that contact with that in mind. So, it's pretty serious. But also there are chapters in here for indicators of wrong soul ties. There's a chapter called The Morning After, which I'm just trying to make you realize that a wise person does today what they'll be happy with tomorrow. A foolish person does whatever feels good right now, but they almost always regret it tomorrow. There's a chapter on declutter the memories, talking about actually going through your house and cleaning up memories, things that every time you look at it, it takes you into a tailspin of depression, then you need to just get rid of it. But also just how to get organized, because clutter blocks your success. So it's a fun chapter to give you a vision to clean your house. There's also a chapter on boosting your self-image, because sometimes when you come out of a wrong relationship, it has damaged your self-esteem, your self-image. So let's build yourself back up. Let's learn to pull your shoulders back, hold your head up, and walk out the plan of God. So, a lot of good chapters in this book. I do have a favorite chapter. It happens to be chapter 7, and it's called The One Thing Needed When It's Over. And the reason I call it that, I'm going to go ahead and tell you what the one thing is. The one thing you need is vision. And the reason I say that is because, well, you know, the Bible tells us where there is no vision, the people perish, right? Well, I've also been told that a person with no vision will always return to their past. So if you're trying to break free from a wrong relationship, if you don't have a vision, you're going to go right back to it. I've also been told that loneliness is not the absence of affection, but the absence of direction. When you get direction, when you get vision for your life, then you're not even going to be thinking about the past. So I provide chapters in here of getting a vision for your own finances, for your physical body, to clean up your house, things like that. But you've got to have a vision. The thing I enjoy most about writing this book is I love providing solutions. You know, it's not just good information, you're going to have solutions. For example, if your mind is tormented, I believe this is going to give you solutions on how to get control of a tormented mind. You know, it's not enough to just tell somebody, stop thinking about them. No, you need to know how to get control of those thoughts, because thoughts are powerful. And I know what it's like to lay in bed and just replay those memories over and over again. But now I know how to take control of those thoughts. Also, I've provided a plan. You will have action steps that you can follow immediately. So you're not just full of just head knowledge, you're going to have a plan for your life, a plan to get up tomorrow morning. And I'm convinced if you change your routine, you'll change your life. So this is going to give you a new plan to develop some new habits in your life, some new disciplines that you're going to enjoy, because it's going to change your whole life. One of the things I learned from writing this book is that all ages and all genders, well, I guess there's only two genders, are affected by soul ties, that it is such a needed and relevant topic. I mean, in one of my icing conferences, I shared, my whole message was on breaking soul ties. And I kept thinking, this is for an isolated crowd. There's going to be like a handful of teenagers at the altar at the end. But I preached it anyway, and you know, at the end, I would say 90% of the crowd came forward to be free from wrong soul ties. And I'm talking about people from 13 years old up to 70-something. And it's not just women. I have so many men writing into our office, commenting on Facebook, messaging us, saying, how do I break free? I can't get this person off my mind. I keep returning to this relationship, or even it's been 10 years, I still feel tied to this person. It affects so many people. I even have a lady who wrote to me saying she's 68 years old,